In this episode, we're going to cover keeping cool under pressure and blocking resets. Combos in Skullgirls are long, like 15 seconds long. It can be hard to remain patient for that long, especially for new players. If you're new and find yourself being frustrated by getting stuck in long combos, mashing your controller is probably the worst thing you can do. Let me repeat that. Mashing your controller will not get you out of combos. I know I kind of covered this in an earlier episode, but I'm going to time in mashing and frame data for this little wrap-up episode. So let's imagine that you're being comboed by Cerebella. And for the sake of simplicity, we're going to go with the flowchart combo, the default combo. Now, this combo is about 15 seconds long, and it has a lot of points where you can be reset at. I'm partial to using resets during the first restand, so we're going to look at that. So let's take a look at that first restand, the one with the crouch medium kick. From this little section of the combo, I can think of about 5 different resets that I can pull off just there. I can crouch medium kick and stand there, and that resets you, so I can start my combo over again. I can fling you up, standing heavy kick and then concho you. I can restand you, jump and instant overhead you. I can restand, hit you a couple times, and then tumbling run. And from that tumbling run, I can run into either concho, run stop, or pummel horse. And I can restand, hit you a couple of times, and then throw you with a command throw. That's all the resets I can think off the top of my head, and that is way more than 5, I'm sorry. And that's just for one part of the combo, so that's a lot of resets for that whole combo. Now, it may sound hard to block all these different kinds of resets, but you have to remember that there's only 3 or 4 different ways to block. Think about it. You can block high, you can block low, or you can hold forward and block behind you. And this beats all of the resets I just mentioned except for the command grabs. Mashing your controller, on the other hand, really only beats concho sometimes and pummel horse when it's really timed poorly. In addition to blocking high, low, and behind you, you can also do something called chicken blocking, which is where you hold up and back at the same time. It's basically just jumping backwards. The only thing that I've noticed that beats chicken blocking is a really well-timed low reset and a few command grabs. Also, concho sometimes beats it. The disadvantage of chicken blocking is that it's a lot harder to return to a good neutral game. So the main thing I want you to take away from this is, when you're being comboed, you need to think about what kind of attacks are being done to you, and what opportunities for resets your opponent has. It helps a lot to know the character that's playing against you, but it's not really required. Imagine playing as the opposing character, and what attacks they're doing, and what kind of resets are available to them. After you've determined what kind of resets they are able to use, take a guess at which one they're most likely to use and block accordingly. One good rule of thumb for characters that you might not know is to block low by default and block high for an overhead that you see coming, and then chicken block if you want to get out of a command grab. Now, the reason I said block low by default and block an overhead reflexively is because overheads take a lot longer in general to start up than a low attack. And if you hold up back by default, you're more likely to get caught in a well-timed low reset. As much as I would love to cover the emotional aspect of keeping calm while being comboed, that's something you have to figure out for yourself. The main message I want to deliver here is that getting upset will make you mash your controller and make you block less efficiently. Staying calm will let you analyze what your opponent's doing and guess what kind of reset's being done to you, and therefore you might be able to block a little bit easier. At the end of the day, you just need to remember what blocking options you have available to you and what kind of reset options your opponent has. This has been a production of I Want to Be the Skullgirl. Make sure to check out the tournaments Saturday nights at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/.